Hi guys, welcome back. It's another comparison video, and this time it's again two bikes with the same engine capacity and from the same manufacturer, and they are the Honda SP125 and the Honda CB Shine. Well, these two bikes are actually targeted towards two types of riders, where one bike follows a very classic design and the other a modern one. So does that mean if you prefer classic design, you should get the CB Shine, and if you prefer modern design, you should lean towards the SP125? Well, let's find that out in this video. Our comparison video is divided into 5 categories, which are design and build quality, specifications, ride quality and comfort, mileage and price. And these 5 factors does cover majority of the things while considering a bike and will sure help you to get a clear idea which one suits you better. So let's start with our first factor, which is the design and build quality. For the design, like I said in the beginning, both the bikes have a different approach. From the front, the headlight used in the CB Shine is a very old school simple one with a chrome section above it, and there is a very glossy windshield. Now this headlight is halogen and also its range and coverage is not that good for your night rides. But for the SP125, the headlight is much different than what we are used to with Honda. This is a new approach where the headlight design is sharp and the headlight used is LED. This does show a bit of resemblance to the headlight in the Hornet, and for the windshield used, well, it's not very striking but still does look nice. And here the range and coverage of the headlight is much better than the headlight in the Shine, and therefore even when you ride through pitch dark, you won't face any issues. Then for the handlebar, well, both the bikes get a U-shaped handlebar, but the color scheme is different. The SP125 gets a black coating while the CB Shine has gone with a chrome finish. And for the switch controls, there is no doubt here because Honda's new approach is a welcome one. And the reason I say that is because the SP125 has all the needed controls like the dim bar bright switch with integrated pass light control, indicator toggle and horn on the left side, and on the right side there is a start-stop switch. So this switch acts both like a self-start as well as an engine kill switch. And I feel this is a great upgrade while checking with the old school switch controls Honda provided where you didn't get a pass light as well as an engine kill switch. And the next thing is also a pretty big upgrade, and that's the instrument panel used. Well, the one in the CB Shine is the old classic fully analog 2-circle panel which just shows the basic stuff, and for the one in the SP125 it's a fully digital panel and it shows plenty of informations. The meter shows speed, fuel level, time, gear position, real-time fuel efficiency, average fuel efficiency, total distance, trip, etc. This is like all the needed information, and the panel also has good readability, so even during a bright sunny day, you won't have any issues. Then for the tank used in the bikes, well, since the CB Shine has a classic design, the tank doesn't have much sharpness. Instead, it's a moderately sized simple tank with adequate curves. But Honda did use graphics on the tank, and it looks fine, and there is also a 3D Honda emblem on the tank. And for the tank capacity, it's 10.5 liters. Now coming to the SP125, it's a very sharp and aggressive tank. Well, the tank size is not massive, but it has a higher tank capacity of 11 liters. There is more curves, and also the shrouds used are very modern and attractive. And overall, with a very new and bold graphics, which also has great color choice, does help the tank to stand out. And actually, the graphics used does extend to the rear section in both these bikes, and for me, I do prefer the graphics in the SP125 over the CB Shine. And that's the same thought while checking the rear section of both the bikes. The CB Shine has a very simple and boring taillight with a single and simple grab bar which is comfortable for the pillion to hold. And for the SP125, well, this taillight is again much better in terms of aggression, and the grab rail, even though it's a single one, it does look more sharp and it has this rubbery texture which makes it slightly better in terms of comfort than the grab rail in the CB Shine. And finally for the exhaust, here both the bikes have a simple exhaust, but in terms of the length, the one in the SP125 is a bit more short. So overall for the design, like I always say, a choice is based on individual's preference. And here if you like classic design, then the CB Shine is the one to go for. But if you prefer modern and very striking design, then you should be leaning towards the SP125. But here, even though both the bikes are targeted for different rider category, I feel the amount of features you get is also important, and if you concentrate on features, well, no doubt the SP125 is the better of the two. And now for the build quality, well, here also the new SP125 feels a bit more sturdy, and also the quality of the plastics and even the switches used were also very slightly better in the SP125. So from the first factor, if you forget about the design, overall I do prefer the new SP125. But this is just the first factor and we still have plenty left, and hence let's take the second factor, which is the specifications. Even though this factor is a bit boring, it is important. I'm not going to read out the engine specs, but here it is for both these 125cc bikes, and here as you can see both the max power and torque is better in the new SP125 compared to the CB Shine. And one major change which is pretty obvious is that the new SP125 has a PGM F5 engine compared to the carburetor engine in the CB Shine. Then for the overall body dimensions, the SP125 is a slightly bigger one in all aspects, and even the ground clearance is very slightly better in the SP125 at 160 mm compared to 157 mm in the CB Shine. But actually one interesting part here with the SP125 is that it's a lighter bike of the two, weighing just 118 kilograms, while the CB Shine weighs 123 kilograms. Now a couple of things that are identical here with both these bikes is firstly the tire measurement is same and is small in both the bikes, where both the front and rear are just 80 mm thick, and secondly the brakes available is also same with different config options to choose from, and here in both the bikes you can either go for 130 mm drum or 240 mm disc in the front and a 130 mm drum in the rear as standard. And also both the bikes have CBS as standard, and CBS is combi braking system in which both the brakes are applied together when you apply the rear brake. And finally the suspensions used, well, both the bikes have a telescopic front suspension and a 5-step adjustable hydraulic rear one. So that's all for the specs of both these bikes, and here the main core change that has happened is basically with the engine, and also the dimensions changed a bit too. But everything else is almost the same. So does this engine change make any drastic difference? Well, to find that out, we have a third factor, which is the ride quality and comfort. We'll first take the CB Shine, and here the engine used is a good one, which is refined and smooth. Power is also adequately available, and therefore hitting the 60 to 70 mark is not a problem here. But if you want to push above that, well, you'll notice engine stress and also slight vibrations. It's actually not a big issue because this is a commuter bike, and obviously it's intended mainly for city commutes, and therefore for that purpose, the bike does its job pretty well. The bike is still a great one if you ride within the speed range from 0 to 60 and maybe up to 70 km per hour, and in that range the ride is enjoyable. The gearbox used here is a good and smooth one, and it doesn't have any gear missing issues, but it's just a 4-speed gearbox, and actually I feel that is one reason the engine was stressed in the 70s range. If the gearbox was a 5-speed one, we could have pushed slightly further without much strain. But like I said before, this engine is a good one if you ride within its limits, and I feel the CB Shine is at its best if you use it for city commutes and not for long rides. And it's not only because of the engine, but it's because of other factors like comfort and safety. Well, the seating bolster of the CB Shine is perfectly upright, which is nice, but the seat used here, even though long, the cushioning is not that good, and therefore riding in a stretch for more than an hour, I did feel a bit of discomfort. But here, the suspension combo used is good and also soft set, so even while riding through rough patches, I wasn't feeling any stress or strain. And for the braking performance, well, it's average, and that's expected, right? There is CBS, and you can even go for a front disc variant, but still, that doesn't make much difference, and also since the tires used are small, for safety stopping, it's always best to ride at controlled speed. So all of these things together, and also since the bike being an easy to control one, does still make the CB Shine, like I said before, a very good city commuter bike. And actually, the Shine falls in that category, and same is the case with the SP125. It also falls in the same category, but the SP125 as a new engine, which I'm going to say it straight, is much better and very refined than the engine in the CB Shine. You'll get the impression that the ride is going to be great by the new silent start feature. The engine turns on without any gear meshing noise in race state, and then it sets well into a silent and very relaxed form. I was actually impressed by that, and I was more impressed the moment I hit the first gear and started the ride. It's very smooth, and I feel it's the best in its class. The ESP technology used here does make a difference in the performance, and here the SP125's performance is better than the performance of the CB Shine. And because of that, the SP125 can easily hit the 70 to 80 mark, and even in that speed range, the bike was refined, and I didn't notice any engine stress even in the 80s. But in the 80 plus mark, I did notice slight vibration from the foot pegs. But still, I did completely enjoy the ride in the SP125 for a speed range from 0 to 80, and here I feel this bike again, even though it's the best for city commutes, this can be used for a bit of long rides because this engine performs better, and therefore the rider doesn't feel that much strain. Now for the comfort, well, here also the riding posture is perfectly upright, and for the seats used, well, it's long and wide enough, and also the center cushioning was more than adequate, but the side cushioning could have been better. I did go for a 50-kilometer ride in a stretch, and even after completing that ride, I wasn't feeling any discomfort, and to an extent, that's because of the suspensions used too. On paper, both the bikes have the same suspension, but the one in the SP125 felt slightly better, even though it was moderately soft set. And here, even while riding through bad road conditions, I was perfectly enjoying the ride. But one thing that's almost identical for both the bikes is the brakes. Both the bikes get the same brake combo, and with the SP125, the model we tested was the front disc variant, and with that, the braking is good if it's done within controlled speed. I feel for sudden brakes, the safety speed is within the 60 mark, and in that speed range, the bike should stay and stop in control, but above that, it's very risky. And to an extent, that's because of the small tires used. They do grip well, even though they are small, and also cornering is to an extent fine, but that's all while riding through proper roads. Well, these two bikes fall in the commuter bike category, and I feel that's the reason why Honda did go for average brakes to cut the cost, and also smaller tires to improve the mileage. And to an extent, I feel it's understandable, and from these two, since the SP125 has better performance and overall a much refined and smooth engine with better comfort, I would pick the SP125 from the two in this factor as my winner because it's great for city commutes as well as for occasional long rides. And here for the seat height, well, with both the bikes I didn't face any issues, and actually I was very comfortable with my foot reaching the ground, and also there wasn't any trouble from the handlebar too. And for your reference, my height is 176 centimeters. Now since this factor is done, let's move to the fourth factor, which is the mileage. Honda did claim a 16% mileage improvement for the SP125, and initially I felt it's just a claim, but after testing, I can confirm the SP125 has improved and better mileage. We did do a mileage test, and in that, the SP125 got a mileage of approximately 70 km per liter. The condition we tested that was a mixed scenario where there were clear roads as well as traffic halts. And for the CB Shine, it was more of a city ride test, and in that conditions, the CB Shine got a mileage of 57 km per liter. Now please do note, this is the mileage we got, and for you it might be totally different because mileage depends on the way you ride and also based on road conditions. So that takes us to the last factor, which is the price. This factor is easily guessable because the SP125 is of BS-6 standard and the CB Shine is a BS-4 standard bike, and here as you can see there is a huge price difference, especially for the top variant of both these bikes, where the SP125's ex-showroom pricing is almost 11,000 rupees more than the CB Shine. Now as a bonus, if you're from Kollam, Kerala and you want to know the on-road pricing or you want to do a test ride or even make a booking, well, you can contact the number shown here. So that's everything for this comparison, and now it's time to decide which one to buy. This comparison seems to be pretty simple, but it's a bit complicated. From what we have checked, we can say one thing, that is, even though the design is a clash between a classic style bike and a modern looking one, well, it's not like if you prefer a classic bike, you should get the Shine, and if you want an aggressive design, you should go for the SP125, because the core things are a lot different. And as of now, the best from the two is obviously the SP125, and it should be like that because it's a major update. The features are more and better, the engine is much more improved in terms of performance and quality, and even the mileage is higher. And therefore, if you want the best right now, you should get the new SP125. The only advantage the CB Shine has right now is the pricing, and to an extent it's very important, and if your price range matches with the price range of the CB Shine and you're willing to sacrifice the overall improvements, getting a CB Shine right now is also not bad. And if in case you have an old CB Shine or any other old 125cc bikes and you're confused whether to upgrade to this new SP125, I feel right now it will be a great option because for the time being, you might get a good deal. That's all for this video guys. Hope you liked it. If so, please do hit the like button and also please do subscribe. See you again in the next one. Till then, bye and always ride safe.